Hello, my name is Byron Smith, and I will be playing the Daywalker, also known as Blade.
How you doing? My name is Markiss McFadden. I'm the writer-director and also play the role of Cyrus Cutter.
Hi, my name is Tushaus, and I am one of the producers, as well as the director of photography and one of the co-composers of the score for Daywalker Blade Origins.
Basically, this is a dream of mine since I was a little boy and I first seen the Wesley Snipes movies. That gave me something to look up to. As far as a superhero, I love the glasses, the trench coat, everything. So I knew once I got older, this is definitely something I wanted to do. This is a take on the earlier years of Brooks as he's becoming the kick-ass vampire that we know as Blade.
This story that we came up with is not really the Wesley Snipes version at all. Like, we did our homework on mainly the comic book. So we pulled different characters from the comic book world and created a story around these characters. And Jamal was a very important character. Like the films, they use Whistler, and I'm not even sure if he existed in the comic book world, but we focused on Jamal. And the story that we are telling is pretty much Blade is more the Eric Brooks story before he becomes Blade, the character we know him to be, this awesome, perfect hero, no flaws. Like, we showing the more side of Brooks where he's becoming Blade as we know him to be. We also touch on the younger version of Brooks as well, when he was a kid, you know, living on the streets, homeless, having nobody in his life to really look out for him. And we show this side of him. I don't want to touch too much into the story because you're about to watch it, but we dive in and we get to see him at this age. A lot of time of him being a kid and going through the struggles, trying to find his way. And then we get to see how he ends up meeting Jamal and their whole encounter. Very interesting. We don't have no money, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a budget that we had a bigger budget, obviously everybody can be comfortable, but man, this film was done from the love of everybody that was involved.
There were a lot of different elements we had to deal with, as far as like when we shot out at Apex, it was windy, it was cold, it was dirty and dusty, and it was getting everywhere in the camera gear and the lenses and everything else. And we also had to set our base camp pretty far away from where we were shooting. So we had the trailer up on this ridge, and then we had to walk all the gear down this hill and back over a hill and over, and I think we measured it out, it was probably about 800 feet from our base camp. And so we had to carry sandbags and lighting stands and lighting camera gear and all this stuff. And I had Maximus, my camera assistant, and sometimes boom operator, and everything that he did, he was there every step of the way, hauling all this stuff in the freezing cold. It was a great experience working with him on that, and like seeing him grow as this 15-year-old, learning how to make a film basically, and how to do it in a very pseudo Hollywood way. So that was one of the things that was rewarding for me to see, is having this protege start learning how to do all these things, and that was pretty cool.
Honestly, the toughest part was just letting it almost be done, in a sense that you get to this point of there's nothing more to do but just to release it to the world. Because working with this team and with the Las Vegas community, it was so fun, man. Honestly, this is one of the projects I had an absolute blast on.
We're very much about wanting to collaborate and bring this community together and show what Las Vegas can do. The sky's the limit as far as what we can do as filmmakers.
Because we didn't have a budget to pay everybody what they deserve to get paid. Everybody really just came in with their heart on their sleeves and just ready to just get to work. And every single person, from an extra to people getting food, we couldn't have done it without every single person. So it was very challenging not to have the money that we need or the resources, but with the love of everybody, oh man, it was the most rewarding part for me. Like, I've done a lot of films out in Cali, and even with budgets and everything, but with this film, no budget, but it was so welcoming, man. It was so loving. Everybody was doing all they can to help, taking on extra jobs to help. So that was the most rewarding part. And obviously, you know, you guys get to watch it and see the end result. But for me, the most rewarding was just to connect with all the Las Vegas filmmakers and everybody out here that was involved.